When you drive a canopy, you want to see out the back of it, and I've had canopy cameras for as long as I've been driving canopies for, and look, they all work pretty well. WOLFBOX have sent this the G900. Now this is a tri-camera. This has got 3 cameras in it. It's got a 4K camera shooting out the front, it's got a 2.5K camera shooting out the back, and a 1080p camera, which you can put underneath or on the bumper or anywhere you want, so you can see where you're on the tracks. This to me is the next level in rear view vision. All right, let's see what we've got. So this is the G900 Tri-Pro 7.4. Now, very well crafted box. I like a good crafted box. Off it comes. All right, so let's have a look inside here. We have got mirror itself, camera that goes over the existing mirror with the straps, on-off button, our mics, and all our inputs. This is, I would imagine, a camera bracket to go on your number plate. We won't be using that. So the first one is our 1080p extra bumper camera cable, so an extension, the rear camera cable and rubber strap. So this is just all the cabling to hook everything up with. Our 1080p extra bumper cable with a power supply cable. So that is our 1080p camera and our 2.5K rear camera, and obviously the 4K front camera is also built into the lens. So that is everything in the box. Now we also got these 2 other packets. Now I'm not sure what's in these. What's in this little guy? Okay, so this is the mirror bracket that will attach into the car so we don't have to wrap it around the existing mirror. This is bracket model number 1. So we will adapt this, I would imagine, somehow for the Cruiser. Okay, so this will go onto that plate there, I see. So we'll take those brackets off, that goes into that, and that goes onto our windscreen. So we will adapt ours and make that fit as if a factory one is. I'm sure. Instructions there to tell us how to do it. And last but not least, I would imagine this is a wiring loom to help us connect it all up to the car. So dash cam, hardwire kit. Okay, so that's exactly it. So there's a ground, an accessory, and our B plus it says, so that'll be a power. So so when the car, we turn the ignition on, it all powers up. And the other end will plug in to the mirror. Trim removal tool, you can never have too many of these. Some fuses, so these are piggyback fuses. These things, I don't know if you've ever used these or not. These piggyback fuses actually save a lot of time. So you can go into where your fuse box is in your kick panel, in your passenger seat, in the Cruiser in this case. Take a fuse out, plug this in its place and put the existing fuse back in there, and all of a sudden you've got a joined fusible link in 5 seconds. And there's different sizes for different fuse boxes. All right, that's everything that comes in the kit. Pretty comprehensive. This will elevate the Cruiser into the modern era where we've got cameras everywhere and we can see all around the car. This is very exciting for me. Right, I'm going to get busy wiring this all up. Once I get that done, we'll come back and we'll see how it all works. First thing we want to do is actually mount the mirror itself. Now it does come with a bracket, a universal bracket, but I happen to have a 79 series bracket already in one of my bags of tricks. So I've brought that out because it fits it exactly right, and it actually manages to fit on the back of the mirror perfectly. So that's done, mirror's mounted. Next thing, simple wiring. All we have to do, the yellow goes to a positive feed in your battery, the red goes to an accessory switch. I pulled one off the Siggy switch in behind the dash because that comes on when the car comes on, and then the black cable goes to earth. Once that's done, we can start running the cables to the back of the car for the rear view camera and running the other cable down underneath the engine for the bumper mount. There's actually a few different options to mount the camera themselves. It does come with double-sided sticky tape, which I've used, and that is way strong enough. But if you were a bit worried, you could use the screws that come with it, self-tappers, and just drill them in to whatever surface you're mounting the cameras to. And they are all at an angle, so you can tighten them up with the 2 little screws on the side to make sure it sits at the angle that you need. All right, now that it's all been installed, there's a fair bit going on here. Let's have a look at it.
So with all 3 cameras running, you really are minimizing the blind spots. This one here, we checked it in the garage before we left, to the one that's on the back of the canopy. So I can actually see it's near on 180 degree peripheral vision at the back. So when I'm parked in my parking spot in the garage, I can see both of the back walls into the corner of the garage just about. So it's nice and wide, so it is definitely minimizing blind spots. Granted, I think the The trade-off with that is things do look maybe a little bit further away than they actually are, but between the one on the back canopy and my two mirrors on the car, I can literally not have any blind spots now. I can see everything that's happening. And then with the third one, which for me is this point of difference for this, it's the bumper cam. It's that third camera. Yeah, very handy for parking, very handy for day-to-day use, because that's where this will be used mostly, but it's also going to be very handy off-road to see what's in front of your wheels, what ruts are there. If you're going over a steep ramp over, you'll be able to see much more than we could before. All right, let's talk about the cameras itself. So the one on the rear view, and I'm going to read this because it's very technical. The rear one's running an OS0 4J10 sensor with PureCell Plus tech. Now, what that means in layman's terms is this thing's going to see into the dark a lot better than a normal dash cam. It's actually going to retain, say, number plates or signs or details that it's not just seeing into the dark. It's actually processing a darker image properly. So you will be able to use kind of like an HDR to process the image. So you are literally seeing night vision on this rear camera. It's very, very cool technology. It does have voice control. So I can say things like, show front camera appears. Show rear camera. There it is. That is something very valuable because you obviously want to try and keep your hands in the wheel. You don't want to be fumbling for buttons when you're driving. So to have that voice technology is perfect. Now there's lots more things you can say to it. I'm just still learning what else we can say.
So you can voice control the Wi-Fi and you can say turn Wi-Fi on. The Wi-Fi comes on in the mirror. You can connect it to your phone and you can download the app, and all of a sudden you've got all the connectivity straight across onto this. Now this, you can have a preview so you can see what the camera sees from your phone. You can also play back all the footage while it's before it's looped, so everything that's still on the SD card you can preview here, and you can download directly to your phone, which will then go into your photos, which is pretty cool. It does also have a G sensor in it. So what happens there is on the trip at the weekend we were on some dirt roads and we were actually going, and there was a few big bumps and they were bumpy enough, a couple of them, that I saw the lock came up on the screen. So it locks that footage. So if you ever have an accident, it's going to lock the footage from all three cameras, so you'll be able to see the accident in real time, which may be really handy for insurance purposes. And the other thing it has here is a setting. So you can have all the settings in the mirror. You can change here, you can change the video format, you can change there's a whole bunch. What else did I see in here? There was settings for the 24-hour format, the speaker volume, the audio recording, the G sensor sensitivity, the speed unit, parking mode. You can change your Wi-Fi password, you can format the SD card, and you can restore it back to factory. So plenty going on in the app too. Okay, so with the screen, you can have, there's 4 different modes essentially. There's the front facing camera, you can scroll across to the bumper camera, you can scroll across to the rear facing camera, and you can scroll across and you can have all 3 on one split screen, so you can see everything what's going on at once, which is very handy too. Then across the bottom there's the nav bar for all your settings. You can lock footage, and then also you can mute, because it does pick up your voice in the car too. You can mute that so it doesn't pick it up, and you can turn it on and off speaking, so you tell it what to do, and you can turn that on and off as well. The GPS is there, so you know what direction you're going in and you know what speed you're going into.
And what it also does, so you can hardwire this, which I've done into the car. When you turn the ignition on, the cameras all start up, but when the ignition's off, it actually can have 3 different settings. So you can have like a shock setting. So if you have an active, your car's parked and somebody crashes into you, this will start recording automatically. Or you can have it set that it'll just keep recording constant loops, 12-hour or 24-hour, and it'll just keep looping through it, just rewinding over your old footage. So before we get it dirty, let's talk about this being an on-road dash cam, which it does very well too. Now, it's got obviously the clear features, the front, the reversing cam, all work beautifully, nice and clear. They handle, we're in an early morning sun at the minute, they handle the shadows and the bright really well, and they're nice and clear, and the mirror is not too bright, not too dark. It's just that right amount of light that's not annoying to look at. It actually replicates what you're used to, a normal mirror. It kind of, if you just glanced at it quickly, you would be mistaken to think it's a normal mirror. Now, I love running this because I've got the canopy on. I run it full time. I didn't hook up the reversing wire, the red wire that's in the back camera, and I did that on purpose so that this thing would run as soon as I turn the car on, I can see out the back, because otherwise, clearly out the back, there's a canopy, so I can't see out the back. Also, let's talk about the third cam. So that's the bumper cam. Now, on road, look, probably not going to use it that much, but where it does come in really handy is if you're parking and you maybe, you want to get, especially in a car as long as these ones, you maybe want to get as close to that wall as you can. And don't forget, I can't see the bull bar that's out in front of me, and it sits out about this much from the car. So to have that bumper cam that I can adjust in the mirror, I can tip it down, I can look nearly straight down the way I've positioned it, so I can get very close to walls now. And if we're going on to a ferry, like when we went to Fraser a couple of weeks ago, right close to the car, right in front of me, because we were the last car on and the ramp just tipped up at the back, so I had to get to within this much of the car in front. So the bumper cam, I didn't have this installed then, but that would have been super handy then. So we'll use this camera 90% of the time in on-road conditions, which is what we're doing at the minute. But I'm very, very keen to see how this goes, especially with the bumper cam off-road. So let's get these things off the bitumen and see how it performs. So we found ourselves a bit of an off-road situation. We've got a few ruts here. Now, it's not the most extreme thing in the world, but it'll demonstrate this bumper camera, which is on now. So this is showing me the ruts that are coming up. There's absolutely no way I'm saying this would replace a spotter, but it does give you a sense of where your wheels are going. So I can see from that bumper cam exactly kind of where the car is and what's coming up. And it's actually working really well. That was deeper than I thought it was going to be, that one. All right, and I can literally place, I'm driving down here using that bumper cam, and that is pretty actually cool. I'm very happy with that. If you didn't have a spotter, if you were doing solo stuff, this is going to work out really good. But that's actually, this is the first time I've used this off-road, and that's very cool. Very cool indeed. It gives you a lot more confidence to see what's going on. Now, the other thing you could do with this is I've obviously got this mounted on a number plate. I'm seeing straight in front of me. I can turn this down and I can see literally right in front of the bumper, which, as we said before, this is very handy for parking. So I can see exactly what's going on, but I think I prefer the view back up this way for spotting myself on the tracks. But what is good with this, I could move that camera back onto the chassis a bit more so I could actually see where the wheels are going to. And then you're kind of limited to that's what you're going to use for the bumper cam for. I prefer it at the front where I can still see where I'm going, but I can also see close to parking too. And it kind of gives me the best of everything. So that is the bumper cam. Big tick, huge tick for that. That's actually really cool. What the WOLFBOX is also really good that I've discovered is towing. So we're towing a trailer today. We've just been up leaving Andy's car off, and we've got a few bits and pieces in the trailer. So the reversing camera that's in the head unit of the car, that's cool for when you're reversing back to line the tow ball up. But the one that we've put on top of the canopy is actually really, really good for when you're reversing, because you can see both sides of the top of the trailer. So when you're reversing either round a corner or like we're about to do into my driveway, it's super, super easy to see where everything is and gives you a lot more visibility than just your normal reversing stuff. Let's get back home and we will reverse the trailer and see A, how good the WOLFBOX is, but B, how good my one-take reversing I do like the reverse in one go. When you're towing, it's so nice to see your load and you can see exactly where everything is. It's a good feeling. We have to do a big swing in here. Basically have to go more than a 90-degree angle around to get up in here, so we might need to go forward just to straighten the trailer up to have that second bite at it. Yeah. Alright. So now we can use the WOLFBOX and go straight in here, hopefully. Yes. So good to reverse with. That is awesome. I think we have nailed that. Go the WOLFBOX. All right. Done. So much easier. So much easier. All right, we've had this in for a week or two now. Let's talk about what I think of it. First off the bat,
If you don't have a dash cam and a rear view camera, I would strongly suggest you get one, because if you're in an accident and you're not at fault, this is going to really help your insurance because it's recording everything that you do. Now, the WOLFBOX is the third dash cam, reversing, canopy cam, whatever you want to call it, that I've had. And this one, by a country mile, is the best one. Points of difference for me: the 4K front vision is clean, it's crisp. The rear camera, it's very good at low light. We can see number plates, we can see everything going on behind us at nighttime. It's a very, very good processor in that rear camera. And the bumper cam, look, I've currently got it underneath the number plate, going over those rocks, going up over those dips where you can't see where you're going at the top. To me, I found myself using it so much more than I thought I would. The installation was pretty straightforward. The app was pretty intuitive. The screen's nice and big. I love the voice control. It even understands my accent. I don't know how that works. And it looks good, and it's become part of what I do. The fact that I have a canopy on the back and I can't see out of the back makes something like this even more necessary. But look, I am a big, big fan of this WOLFBOX. I'll leave a link below if you want to grab one for yourself. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, pop a comment in there. I'd love to hear what you think about it.